Well, it's been quite some time since I've gone live. So here we are. Today I'm joined by Pam, of course, and Sporky, otherwise known as Erica. How's it going?
It's good. How are you doing?
I can't complain. Out riding the trails today and checking out the wild horses and playing in the mountains. So I've got
I saw
helmet
some
hair.
pics.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It was really neat. We just come down off the mountain and we were on the road going to a different destination, and they were just kind of hanging out. So of course we had to get videos and pictures, and that was kind of unexpected. So it's kind of neat. You never know what you're going to see out on our beautiful trails and mountains here.
Yeah, it is beautiful. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, what can I say? It's almost heaven. But anyways, so today's topic is I don't really have. Anyway, so today's topic we are going to be talking about service animals and emotional support animals, and just kind of touching on the difference between the two and pointing out some of the obvious, pointing out some of the not so obvious. And we'll wait till we get a few people in here. If anybody's watching, that way we can get a few people in here, then we'll get into the topic at hand. There we go. Told you it's been a while since I've done this.
Yeah, well. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like riding a bike, isn't it?
Well, I can't see and I haven't ridden a bike in a while, so I'm not trying that. So we might not want to compare. I'll get on a four-wheeler and on a side-by-side, no problem. But I think I'm going to leave the bikes to the other folks. We're good.
I don't know. It could be an adventure.
I love adventures, but the problem is when you get to be my age and you hurt them bones, it takes forever to heal.
Yeah, I understand that.
Ugh, it's not so fun anymore. Fun
Kim
E
is
for the
here.
second.
Hi, Kim.
Oh, hi, Kim. How are you? Long time no talk to. Hope everything is well. And I believe it was your dad that just had a birthday. So happy belated birthday to him. And I see your recipes you're always putting up are making me hungry. Of course. 1 second here. Okay, so let's get right into it because frankly, I don't want to be here all night. So let me start by telling you a story. We were in Williamson, Kentucky on Saturday, New Year's Day. We went into a place called Giovanni's Pizza to get dinner after riding the trails all day. And we get there, pouring down rain, freezing cold. Finally, it stops. We make a mad dash into the restaurant to enjoy their pizza, which we've been there before, and they've got great food, and they've had good service. So we thought, wow, let's go back again. Pretty sweet, because anybody who knows Pam knows she loves pizza. It is the way it is. So I have Kelvin on my left side, and Pam is on my right side, and we walk into the door. We didn't get maybe, I'm going to guess 10 feet in the door. And the manager tells us that the dog is going to have to go out into the truck. He's not allowed in the restaurant because of health department regulations. I don't know what that annoying clicking is. It's awful.
I don't know either.
Do you guys hear that?
No, I don't hear anything. I have my mic muted at the moment
1 second.
too.
There we go.
No, it's something with our.
Okay, there. Anyways, after explaining to the manager that Calvin is my guide dog and that he is allowed into the restaurant, and also it's an ADA issue. You have to let him in here. We did not wait for a further answer. We proceeded to walk to our table and have a seat. She sends over Patty, the server, and before she even asked us what we wanted to drink, brought us menus, she said to us that the manager sent her over and wants to know why is Kelvin in here, starts asking about my disability, asking what the dog does. I do have a school identification card, which I pulled out, handed it to her, explained to the server what Calvin's function is and why I have him. She goes back to the manager, and this is very awkward because there's customers everywhere, and this is not a quiet exchange. So anyway, she comes back to our table and indicates to us that the manager says we can stay this time, but she has to ask people around us if they want to be moved because of the dog. And we had to answer her question. I just kind of looked at her, looked at Pam, and she said, well, is that okay? I said, sure, I guess so. Meanwhile, I felt like I wanted to crawl under the table and just go to sleep or something. So she did. She literally asked the people that were sitting around us if they wanted to be moved because of Kelvin. They said no. So I thought that was pretty awesome of them. Kudos to them. And kudos to our server, Patty. She was amazing. She was really on the spot. I think she handled herself well. You could tell she was, not comfortable, but she did well. And we did have a good meal. So that's a bonus. After we finished our meal, we walked up to the counter to pay our tab, and the manager was there. And she walked away. She would not even speak to us. She had somebody else
She had Patty.
ring us out. So that's what led up to this video. I shared that story on my Facebook page. I shared it to a couple of groups we're in, and frankly, it got thousands of likes, comments, shares, and all of your support, guys, was fabulous. And here's my stance. Normally I don't really get into this kind of a thing. I don't get into very many blindness related issues or handicap related issues. And it's not that they don't need to be addressed. It's not that they are not important, because they are. Look, I'm a mechanic. I'm a business owner. That's what I do. I leave this stuff up to the professionals. But this one really hit it home for me. Being a little bit older, kind of made me think, what if this was my child or my niece or my nephew or a grandchild or my mom or anybody else? They may not have been able to handle the situation that I was put in. And it's not just about me or I, it's also about Pam. She was there. She had to put up with that as well. And it just wasn't fair. In fact, it was wrong on every level. But the positive spin on all of this is the whole time this is going on, Kelvin's laying down on the floor, sleeping. I wanted to trade places with him, and I tried to ask him, but he said, no, you deal with that shit, Dad. I'm out of here. So anyways, after the post, after the overwhelming support in the community, now it seems like no matter where we go, unfortunately, they recognize me from that post in the Giovanni incident, which led me to do this video. So let's check the comments real quick. You got those, Pam?
No, because I can see that there's new comments, but I have to scroll down
just hang on one second. Just bear with me, folks. I am not a professional broadcaster, so hold on a minute.
Unless Miss Erica would like to read any comments that appear.
Yeah, you got the comments, Erica?
Yeah, I'm on chat. I'm not seeing anything at the moment.
Okay, it's weird the way they do it, because I got some on my end, so give me just a second here.
Can you see the ADA post that I posted in there?
Yes, I see those.
Okay.
And it just shows me Kim, hey Steve, and hey Pam.
Almost there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Okay.
Kim. Okay, there's Kim's comment.
Said, hey, Steve. Hey, Pam. Hey, Kim. Hey, y'all. Wasn't that it?
Okay, that's it for now. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let me start off by explaining in brief. Well, let's start off by talking about guide dogs. And they can be referred to in many ways. People call them guide dogs, leader dogs, pilot dogs.
Seeing eye dogs.
Yep. Seeing eye dogs.
Blind dogs.
That's for a different. That's for a private chat. Anyways, all I know is if this dog is blind, I'm in a whole heap of trouble. So, in brief, and this is when I say in brief, obviously I'm not a professional trainer, nor am I a staff or employed by any of the guide dog schools out there. So I'm just kind of give you guys a basic overlay of how the process works. So, anyways, here we go. Most of the schools have their own breeding stock, if you will. So they breed their own puppies. And when the puppies are old enough to leave the nursery, they will go on to a puppy raiser's home. Their job basically is to teach the dog social obedience, social skills, obviously housebreak them, and much, much more. But that's just a short synopsis of what happens when they go to the puppy raiser home, which are volunteer people, by the way, so support them. What they do is a wonderful, wonderful thing for all of the schools. Anyways, at approximately 1 year of age, the puppy will go back to the school and go into the kennel, and that's when they will start their guide training. There's many, many, many things that they have to do in order to get qualified to be a guide dog. Obviously, obstacle training, more obedience. There's just lots of things, and I'm not going to get into a whole list of things because if I say something wrong, someone's going to have a fit. But anyways, if the dog passes the test and they deem that, yes, this dog's certifiable to be a guide for a blind student, the schools at that point go through the applicants that they have, and they match the dog up to said applicant to the best of their ability. Typically, you go to the school. If you're a new person, a new handler, if you will go to the school for 28 days. If you're a retrainee, usually you can be out of there in 10 days. Some schools do offer at-home training, which is a really great which is a really great thing for those of us who can't be away for, 28 days. Some people just can't do that for many different reasons. So, where am I going with all of this? So the case in point I'm getting at really is this. A guide dog, a pilot dog, a CNI dog really is born to perform this task. And they start training them, like I said, when they're old enough to leave the nursery. In order to graduate from the school with a dog, you have to train along with the dog. There are various tests that the student has to pass along with the dog. And at the end of the training, there's a bigger test that you have to do where they send you out independent, and there's a route that you have to follow, and you have to do that successfully. So these dogs, you don't just go to the pound and pick out a dog that's cute, you think is lovable, go on the internet, pay $50 and get a cape or
superhero cape. Come on.
Yeah.
Super dog.
Or a vest or a shield or a scarf or whatever. These dogs are pretty much born to do what they do. So where do I want to go from here? So these dogs are trained to perform a specific task. And all the schools are wonderful. I'm of course I'm a fan of pilot dogs. I gotta say I was a little reluctant at first by gossip and rumors that I had heard flying around the Facebook world, and we know what that's like. I'm here to tell you that was an absolutely terrific school. The staff was great. The dorms were fine. I have nothing bad to say. Perfectly great school, in my opinion. And the other ones are all good too. So there. And a lady put a comment on my video, which I put up on the channel, which by the way, it's got over 1,000 views. So I want to thank everybody for that. A bunch of comments and shares. That's pretty cool. So, anyways, this lady puts a comment up here, and if I could find it, I would go get it. But she says she really kind of reamed me out and saying that before I go into restaurants and be rude to people, that I should have proper attire on Kelvin. And she's saying that, he should have a cape or a vest on. And that's kind of why we were all snickering. So what I'm here to do is show you what a guide dog harness looks like. 1 second. Do you have that harness, Pam?
Hang on and I'll get it.
Yeah, because she didn't know we were going to show this harness. No, just
You
kidding.
told me to set it
Anyway.
aside so I can put the earplugs out.
That's just funny. I'm just giving her crap.
Here you go.
Oh, hi, Mom. She's in here. Okay, so turn it around here. Hopefully I can get this in the camera. Mine's just a blind guy doing this, but I'm sure my sister will correct me. But this is a guide dog harness. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but I'm telling you it's there.
No, you wouldn't be able to see it on screen because it's like embossed into the leather of it.
So on the top of the strap that goes over his back, it's stamped Pilot Dog. And again, this is the harness. This goes over his back. This goes in front of his chest. This right here, I'll just go ahead and buckle this, maybe. There we go. That goes under his chest. Now, you ready, guys? Big red truck. Are you ready? Hold on.
That's the old shit handle.
Yeah, this is a, oh shit, Dad, hang on to me because we're going to cross the street. So, as you can see, by looking at this handle, it's not a vest. By golly, it's not a cape.
Because a vest or a cape would interfere in his handling.
He doesn't.
Well, I wonder too if some of it is maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
No, give me 1 second, Area. So I know I'm just kind of poking fun, so I apologize. It probably wasn't. No, I don't apologize. Just screw with that. Anyways, Calvin already has enough equipment on him already. He's got his collar with multiple tags. He's got a leash. He's got a harness. He's got a handle. And of course, he's pulling my fat ass around. So he does not need anything else. And it's not required for him to have anything else. And in the comment section, Pam put a link in there. I think it's a link where it shows the ADA laws and compliance, if you will. And if you take the time to go read that thoroughly, you'll find there's some of it's a little gray, but for the most part, it spells it out pretty well, and it talks about the differences. And for my blind users, yes, it's completely accessible, and it's right there. So, what you want to say, Erica?
I was just going to say that, sometimes when you quote, he has harness, I think a lot of people think in their head, oh, he went to the pet store, bought one of those cloth harnesses, you slap a leash on it and call it a day. I think, too, that's where some of the misconception comes into.
It could be, because now when we go to the beaches and stuff, Calvin does have a nylon harness with a 12-foot nylon leash that I use for him just to keep the good leather stuff out of the salt water. So which
makes sense.
That's reasonable. I can understand that. I think where I get a little miffed is I'm 51 and I have had service animals now since I was my late teens, I believe.
Oh yeah, for a long time.
So I think I can speak on this with pretty good clarity and a lot of intelligence. And I have been
just out loud. That's nice.
I've been around a long time. Look, don't call me old, all right? I don't want to hear it. Don't you do it. I will kick you out of my stream. No. The point I'm getting at is I've been using dogs for a long time, and I have been on every mode of public transportation you can imagine, from a nasty ass city bus to first class and airplanes and trains and boats. And I haven't been on a cruise. That'd be kind of cool. But anyways, and we've been in everything from, 5-star resorts to local dive bars. And I have never one time had any encounters like we had over in Kentucky. You know what? Wait a minute. That's a lie, actually. We did go into a Chinese food restaurant in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and they were super. They tried to say the dog couldn't come in. I had a really nice, positive interaction with the manager, and after that, we were welcome every single time without fail. And I probably wouldn't have been so upset about it had the manager come over and speak to us herself.
Yeah.
So now the next stuff I'm going to talk about, this is where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to give you my opinion on emotional support animals, and this is just my opinion. I understand mental illness is real. I mean, hell, we all suffer some type of depression or highs and lows.
To
Um,
anxieties, to fears,
absolutely.
to
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. We all do. None of us are free from it. Cats really bring a lot of emotional support to somebody. I get it. I do. 100%. There's nothing better than a cat purr on your pillow when you're having a bad night. I get it. I'm with you. I agree with you. But here's where I have the problem. That animal does not belong in a public place. I'm sorry. It just does not. That's my personal opinion. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think the animal belongs in a public place. And again, these are my opinions only. I'm going to tell you some stories that I can't say I've seen it firsthand because that'd be a lie, but things that I have firsthand knowledge of. And the first one that comes to mind is Lenny Boy and I, which was my previous guide dog.
good old Lenny.
I miss him. He's such a great boy.
Mm-hmm.
We were we were in Michigan, as a matter of fact. We were flying out of Detroit, if memory serves me correctly. We're sitting at the gate, waiting to board. No big deal. Life's good. La da 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 da. Scratching the dog. Life's good. Next thing you know, here's this person with a smaller dog. I don't know what kind, so I'm not going to pick on breed, but I know it was small because it had a wimpy ass bark, and he was barking, or she was barking, whatever. Dude, the dog took a shit in the middle of the floor in the gated area. So now you guys are going to say to me, well, does your dog ever go to the bathroom? Yeah, you know what? Kelvin took a shit in the mall. Lenny took a shit in the grocery store. But you know what the difference is? We pick it up immediately and we clean up after ourselves. And typically that doesn't happen. I think in all my years of having a dog, that's happened to me twice.
3 times.
Was it 3 times?
Calvin had an accident in the store one time too, but we took care of that.
And 9 times out of 10, when they have an accident, they're trying to tell you they got to go out, but you can't get them out fast enough because they can't wait till you're almost out the door. It's got to be right in the middle of a place that's crowded with people. But again, these people with these emotional support dogs, they don't even clean up after them.
So go ahead.
And then you see them in the stores, and they got their little poodles or whatever they are. Just an example, sitting in the shopping cart, leaving dog hair everywhere. And then sometimes when they're leaning over, like your meat aisles, for example, or fresh vegetables, some of them have the dog in their arms and they're leaning over fresh food with the dog. That's not acceptable.
Or they're setting their dog on top of the table
In a restaurant. Yes. Or they're feeding their animals in a restaurant. Those are the people that gave
service animals,
emotional support animals, or service animals, whatever you want to call them. Those are the people that gave them a bad name. And I'm sorry, just because you live in an apartment building or you want to go to a campground and you want to bring your dog with you, when they tell you this, you cannot bring your dog. So what do? You jump on the internet, you get a certificate for $50 and
Go
you buy a
to
freaking
Amazon, buy their capes.
yeah, you can buy a freaking cape.
But let's
And next thing you know, you got a service animal. Bullshit. You don't. It
Nope.
just doesn't work that way.
because you didn't have
Nope.
to pay for Calvin's identification to
No.
verify that he has been fully trained.
Keep
And
talking.
so when you're at the restaurant, because we've had people in a restaurant, in a store, want to give Calvin treats or drinks, how do you respond to that?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. Say that one more time, Pam. I was looking at
Because
comments.
we've been out in public,
Yes.
obviously, dinner in a restaurant
All the
or
time.
at the
Yes, ma'am.
store.
Mhm.
I mean, we had somebody here that wanted to give Calvin treats at the store, wanted to buy him one of those chew bones and kind of things. Do you remember that?
I do.
And then at the restaurant, they want to offer him treats or water and stuff like that while we're eating. How do you personally respond to that?
I don't allow any interaction from anybody with Kelvin. In fact, when Kelvin is in harness, Pam does not even interact with him
He's working. That's
because
why.
and it sounds cruel. Like I understand both sides of it. So let me say this before I go any further. I understand you want to pet Kelvin. I hear it. I hear it 100 times a day. Your dog is beautiful. Oh my God, he's gorgeous. He's cute. Can I? Thank you. I do appreciate it. I love brushing him out, and he's just a gorgeous boy. I get it. And I thank you. And I think it's awesome that you want to pet him, and all the people have offered to buy him something or give him something. Your generosity does not go unnoticed. I think it's wonderful. But here's the thing. He is a tool. He is a working animal. He is a guide. He has a task to perform. And it sounds cold, but I'm just going to give you two quick scenarios that I think you can really appreciate. So, Calvin and I are standing at a controlled intersection. In other words, we're standing at a traffic light. We are ready to cross 6 lanes of traffic, both directions. Traffic everywhere, noise everywhere, a lot going on. And I'm depending 100% on my hearing to get across that street safely because Kelvin does not tell me when to go. That's up to me. He don't give a shit. He goes when I tell him to. However, when I'm crossing that street and you stick your hand out to pet him, or if you happen to know his name and you call him, there's a very good chance that he could pull me into traffic. And that's not going to have a good ending for Calvin or me or you. So a lot of it comes down to safety. Food. The reason I don't allow people to give him food because, well, I'm fat and Pam's fat and we like to go eat. We're always in restaurants. Always, 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 always. Meetings, personal, whatever. Calvin's with us. Half the time, you don't even know he's there. If I start feeding him a bunch of table food and letting everybody do it, guess what? He's going to start begging in public places. And that is a very unacceptable behavior. It can't happen. So it's all about control. In fact, when I do obedience with him, I do food obedience. So there's a lot that goes into it. I'm kind of going all over the place, but I guess it's my broadcast. So who cares?
I just want to say we have a couple comments. I've got the feed on the Facebook part.
Oh, okay.
Holly French is hi. We haven't heard from Holly in a long time.
Well, hey there, stranger.
Brittany Marie Scott says, hi, Dad. How are you doing?
Oh, good, Brittany. How are you? Glad you're here.
And there's a Becky Ann Watt says, you and your dog and Pam can come to my house for dinner anytime. And she also had said that she's embarrassed about how people can be so ignorant. And I replied to her on that. And I said, Becky Ann Watt's education is definitely key.
Well, thank you so much. What are you making? I mean, like I just said, we're all fat. We want to eat. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And listen, guys, I gotta stress this. I really, really need to drive this point home. I'm not on here to whine. I'm not on here to complain. I just want to educate and have an open discussion. You know, I can't.
Just trying to bring some awareness. Like, hey,
Yes,
when you see this, this is what's going on, and these are the do's and don'ts.
right, exactly. Um, I just, oh, there's so many things I want to say, but I'm trying to keep my political hat on here. I've probably done enough damage. But no, really, most people are wonderful. So I'm very, very fortunate there. But it was a rough experience. It was yeah, it was pretty rough. And I think I
But
could.
you do also have to tell him, Calvin does get plenty of love and spoils when he's not working, right? People can
No
pet him
way.
and
Are you
love on
kidding?
him,
Look, I lock him.
because
He's
some
like
people
Harry.
might be like, oh my God, that dog never gets any love. Now you're
He
there. He's
he's
his
like
dog,
Harry Potter.
like,
I lock him under the stairs. Remember the movie Harry Potter?
yes, it's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Okay, so I am totally full of crap. Listen, Calvin is my absolute world. I'll get rid of Pam before I get rid of the dog. She'll tell you.
He would. He would.
No, he gets
Well,
he
because,
gets
he's better looking than you, Steve. I mean, come
that's
on.
true. That's absolutely true. But no, trust me, he gets all the lovin's he can stand. He's the
He
center
actually, in
of.
fact, looks spoiled to me.
Oh yeah, he's spoiled. He's got all kinds of toys thanks to Grandma and Pam, and he's spoiled to the core. But it's funny, he does not like leaving my side. If I walk away, he tends to bark a little bit and get a little excited, if you will. He does not like me out of his sight.
He says, "Where are you going without me, Dad?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, just like when you had your surgery, he was right next to you the whole time, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Basically.
that's the crazy thing. So I had major back surgery
End of September.
into September, and when we went to the hospital to do the initial check-in part of it, Kelvin was right there with us, and when it came time for me to go back into the prep room, Pam did bring him back to the truck, of course, because you can't have a dog back there. That's common sense. But I'm here to tell you, when I got out of my surgery and they brought me up to my room, guess who was there? Pam and Kelvin, without fail. I don't remember much of it. I kind of remember, but it's a little fuzzy, if you will.
No.
Then the next day, guess what? Pam and Kelvin came right back up, and he laid right next to my bed. Did not bother a soul. But a damn pizza place is going to tell me I can't come have dinner. That's just some crazy shit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Hopefully it was a learning experience for them as well. And they take this as a learning curve for themselves and just not do it to somebody else.
I think the reason I'm not letting this go, no, I know the reason I'm not letting this go. I reached out to corporate because I figured that would be a good place to talk to. And I just wanted to educate them, really show them the ADA laws, have a conversation with them. They won't even so much as return a phone call.
Oh, nice.
And that's not how you do things in 2022. I don't care if you're in rural Kentucky or if you're in, Manhattan, New York. You don't do it like that.
Yeah.
So it's just insane. What else do we want to touch on during this lovely stream? Do we have any more comments from anybody? Or
it's cold.
It's very cold.
It's been
Kelvin
like
likes
below
the snow.
freezing for days.
Is it? But we got some good snow. Yes, I know.
2 days ago.
Yeah, Thursday afternoon. It came down in buckets and brought Kelvin outside. He's all trying to roll in it and stick his face in it. And he was digging it.
I know Diamond, when it snows, she drives me nuts. Every 10 minutes, she's barking because she likes to go outside and eat the snow.
Mm-hmm. Calvin was doing that his first night too, and he started coughing. He said, "Well, stop eating the snow, you goofball." I was like, "Really? I'd be coughing too if I was trying to eat that cold stuff."
That's funny.
What else we got, Pam? Any other comments over there, honey?
No other comments. I'm we put out there if there's anybody that has any questions, or because some people might ask other questions, not just about him walking you around and that. But
Yeah, there's a cool video on the channel. Like I said, it's got over 1,000 views, but you can actually, I do a pretty good introduction on guide dogs / Calvin, and there's a video of us, out in the community, in and out of stores and traffic lights and things of that nature. And I'm going to do some other videos at some point in time where I can show Calvin in different scenarios. You can see him using escalators or revolving doors or elevators. I already did stairs. I'll do some complicated street crossings, so you guys can see how that works. It's pretty.
How about some zip lining or cliff jumping?
That would be pretty cool. I keep telling Pam I like parasailing, and I want to get Calvin a harness so we can parasail next to me. That'd be so funny.
I know. I see these dogs, like Marine, the service dogs for, the Army and stuff. And I watch these dogs jump out with their, owners and stuff jumping out for the service. And I'm just like, man, I wonder how that dog feels jumping.
I know, right?
Do they get the adrenaline like we do? Like how does that dog feel? Like, I don't know. That was one of the thoughts that went through my head.
The dog probably pisses on the shoulder's foot going, take that.
Or peeing on the way down and it's just spraying everywhere.
Does that put a new meaning to upstream?
Oh, God, that's funny.
That is too funny. And something I've been encouraged to do, and give you guys a heads up, once a month, I'm going to do a blind related topic. So I'm not going to do it every day. There's enough wonderful YouTubers out there doing that, and I think it's great. But I am getting asked by some of my business associates and friends and customers, how do I do this? How do I do that?
How do you wipe your ass and know it's clean? That kind of stuff.
Well, you got to do the sniff test. I'm telling you. But anyways, I thought once a month I would
come out the bathroom, Pam. Hey, there's a little brown on your nose. Sorry.
Well, really, if you don't want to do the sniff test, you can do the glide test. Like, when you're wiping and it's just smooth, you're not clean. But when it gets resistance, chances are you're pretty clean back there.
That's funny.
Y'all
Leave it to
never
me.
know
I'm sorry.
Y'all never know what you're gonna hear here, do you? Anyways, if I don't have any more comments, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. It was fun.
Yes.
Haven't done one of these in a while, and I thought this would be a pretty good topic. So, for those of us that joined us, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. For those of you that are going to come back and watch it later, thank you so much. I appreciate it as well. Put your comments in there. I will reply to them, and you guys can reach out at any time. I'm always available. Any other comments, honey?
Only William Gleason said, "Hi, Steve." I don't know who that is.
That's Tasha's Will. What's going on, Will? Will Dog.
Oh, I guess I didn't know his last name.
That's Will Dog.
And then Kim wrote, she goes, "I wanted to know how you guys ended up in Kentucky." Well, we live in West Virginia, and
I'm going to do a stream. You know what? F it. I'm going to do a stream tomorrow, and I will explain exactly what we're doing in Williamson, West Virginia, and what we do in Kentucky and why we're here. I'll do a stream tomorrow about all of that, and I'll try to get a few people in here with us because it's really, I'll give you a little teaser. If you would have asked me 9 months ago where Williamson, West Virginia is, I would have said, the hell if I know. And I'm here, and this is probably the most amazing place on earth and as close to heaven as you can get. Now, that said, I'll be in Florida in the winter times. Don't get me wrong, it's my only winter here. So with that being said, I will do another stream tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And I'll try to get some other guests in here as well. And hopefully Erica and JJ will be with me. And we know Pam will. and I will fill you guys in on everything.
But just to clarify that Williamson, West Virginia is on the border of West Virginia and Kentucky. And on the other side in Kentucky is South Williamson, Kentucky. You know, they were just so thrilled by the name of Williamson, they just had to add South on the beginning of it too.
I think
You
it's
know.
cool how I can. I think it's awesome how I can ride the trails and go from West Virginia over to Kentucky and have a blast. I just,
Yes.
oh my God, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me check for comments again. Let's see. All right. Well, with that being said, folks, I am getting ready to get out of here.
If you can find that
I'm working on it.
broadcast button. We appreciate all of you, definitely.
Yes, everyone have a good night.
Yes, ma'am. Really? Come on. All right, there. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, peace out, Girl Scout.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.